Hi guys. So I was asked to do a calf demonstration by someone with the name of Jet722Z. He made the request under one of my videos, and so I told him that I would do that. His reasoning was that he doesn't find that a lot of people do demonstrations on the calves or they talk about them. Um, I am, my calves are not that big, but what I will say is that I do train them, and I am a firm believer that in order to have strong calves, in order to get your calves to grow, you have to have strong feet. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips on things that I like to do, and then I will do a demonstration on a couple of calf raises and talk about different foot positions. But one of the things that you're definitely going to need is you're going to need a lightweight TheraBand. You can get these on Amazon or you can get them at any sporting goods store. I'm going to put it off to the side for now, and we're going to get started. You just want to stand with your feet, I'd say, about hip distance apart in your natural stance. Okay, so if you're someone that slightly turns out, then you want to turn out. If you're somebody that is slightly pigeon-toed, you want to try to, I guess, get to a neutral position or your natural stance. What you're then going to do is you're going to take a deep breath in. You're going to blow the air out, and as you blow the air out, you're going to start to roll up onto the balls of the toes. Now, once you get to the balls of the toes, you want to make sure that all of the weight is shifted to your big toes, that your toes are spread nice and wide apart, and then you're just going to push a little bit more through the ball of the foot so that you can come up a little bit higher. That should give you more of a contraction through your calf, yeah? Then you're going to lower yourself back down. I'm going to show it to you one more time facing forward, and then we're going to turn to the side so that you can see what I'm doing. You're going to take a deep breath in, and as you blow the air out, you're going to start to roll up onto the balls of the toes. Make sure that the toes are spread nice and wide. Make sure that all of the weight is shifted to your big toes. You're then going to push into the floor a little bit more. I'm trying to fight the balance. And that should give you more of a contraction. You should come up a little bit higher on that calf raise. And then you're going to lower it down. So if you're looking at it from the side, again, standing up nice and tall, you're going to take a deep breath in. And as you blow the air out, you're going to start to roll up onto the toes, making sure that the toes are spread. Then you're going to push into the ball of the toes just a little bit more, making sure the weight is shifted to your big toes. And then you're going to lower it down. And one more. So again, making sure that your focus is pushing the ball of the toes into the floor even more to come up a little bit higher. That's going to give you more of a contraction in that calf muscle. So again, make sure your toes are spread nice and wide. Take a deep breath in, blow the air out, and start to roll up. And then push just a little bit more. All the way is shifted to the big toes. And then you're going to lower it down. Now, for that exercise and for a lot of the exercises, I think that it's best that you do them in your stocking feet or in your barefoot. Even when you're doing like calf raises, you want to wear a shoe that doesn't have a lot of cushion. Like, for example, my sneakers, my Nike sneakers, they have this a lot of padding in the front, a lot of thick sole, and they're not very flexible. They don't give you a lot of bend. You want to wear a flexible shoe so that you really can articulate through your feet when you're doing calf exercises. So that's one of the exercises that I like to do. Another foot strengthening exercise that I do, there are a lot of them that I do, but another one that I like to do is using this band. And you're going to take it down onto the floor. And this is one that really helps for you to focus on that pushing through the ball of your foot. You're going to take the band, and you have an option. You can either wrap the band solely on the ball of the foot, place the ball of the foot in the band, or you can put the entire foot from toe to heel in the band, whichever one you like, whichever one you feel more comfortable doing. I think the benefit of doing it like this is that the band will not slip. For the one, I prefer to do it this way because it allows me to really focus on spreading my toes and keeping them wide. So whichever one you're going to do, choose that. And what's going to happen is I go through two different ranges. The first thing that I do is I work on just the pointing or extension and flexion of only the ankle. So extending and flexing. And when I extend or point through my ankle, I really focus on pushing through the ball of my foot. My toes are still in a neutral position, and then I extend back. And then I push and I extend. You really want to exaggerate that push. That's the first part of that exercise. And I usually do like 10 to 12 of those. Then I go back in and I not only point or extend through my ankle, pushing through the ball of my toe, I then point the toes. So I allow my toes to curl over. Then I slowly pull my toes back, but I'm still pushing through the ball of my foot. And then I flex through my ankle. So it's a pointing through the ankle or extension, a pointing through the toes, a flexing of the toes, still pushing through the ball of the foot, and then a flexing of the ankle. So if you were to put that all together, it would just be a point and a flex. But you want to be exact with your movement. Point, pull the toes back, and flex. And that is your foot exercise. Now I usually do about 10 to 12 of those. What those do, and the reason that I like them, is because they make you very cognizant of the pushing through the ball of your foot. So if you were going to take that on to doing a calf exercise, it's going to make you more aware of the weight being shifted to your big toes and you really focusing on pushing through the ball of your foot, which is going to help you, again, to shorten or contract that calf muscle even more. So if you were doing it on there are, let me think, there are 3 different types of calf exercises that you can do. You can do standing, you can do seated, you can do donkey. So the standing calf raise is basically going to work your gastrocnemius, which is going to be the ball or the head of your calf muscle. Okay? Seated is going to work more so of the soleus, more of the soleus muscle, which is the muscle that sits right under your gastrocnemius and connects to your Achilles tendon. And then your donkey calves are going to work both. So with the standing calf, and you guys can do standing calves with a platform like I have and a Smith machine. And for those of you that aren't sure what a Smith machine is, it's they look like squat racks. They're a rack that has a bar, but it's not a freestanding bar. With the squat racks, the bar is actually freestanding. With this one, the Smith machine, the bar is actually on a track, okay? So you want to use that, especially if you're just starting out, because it's going to help you with your balance. You're going to put the bar on the back of your neck, and you're going to step up onto the platform, and you're going to lift and lower. So those are your standing calf raises. You can do single leg, you can do 1 foot. You can also do standing calf raises on stairs. Anything that has, or just a single platform that's standing by itself. The things that you want to keep in mind about doing standing calf raises, you want to make sure that you are, when you're lowering your heel, that you're lowering it a little more than parallel. You don't want it to be too far down. Like my foot is, but you don't want to keep it parallel. You want to lower it a little past parallel to get a little bit of a negative, to have to work your way up, to have to work the muscle up a little bit from a negative position. So if I'm doing a standing calf raise, and I'm going to try to keep my balance on this, my heels are going to start at a little bit past negative, and then I'm going to take a deep breath in, blow the air out, start to roll up onto the ball of my toes. Remember, my toes are spread nice and wide, and my weight is shifted to my big toes. And then I'm going to give myself a little bit more of a push. Yeah? And then you're going to lower it back down. Getting into that negative, taking a deep breath in, blowing the air out. You're going to roll up onto the ball of the toes, making sure the weight is shifted to the big toes. Toes are spread. Give yourself a little bit more of a push. That's the calf burner right there. And then you're going to lower it back down. If you're someone that is not pushing the ball of the foot into the calf machine or the platform, what's going to happen is that you are going to come here, and you're going to go here, and you're going to go here, and you're going to go here, and you're not going to get full muscle fiber recruitment that you want in order to see those muscles grow. Okay? So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Foot positions. You want to go with either neutral, which is the feet being straight ahead, external rotation, internal rotation. You want to work on all three, because doing all three is like training your muscle at different angles. When you train your muscle at different angles, when you train a muscle group at different angles, it's going to give you a more rounded and developed muscle because you're hitting it from different angles. And that's going to show up in the way that the muscle develops. Again, you have your seated calf raises, which are going to be either on a seated calf machine, or you can do them on a leg press. And like I said, what that's going to work is it's going to work the soleus muscle that sits right under your gastrocnemius, and it connects to your Achilles tendon. It's important to work both. So you want to train seated as well as standing. And another one that you want to throw in is a donkey calf. Now, when I say donkey calves, you're going to be standing on a box like this. You have to actually make it yourself. Standing on a box or a platform, you can use the freestanding freestanding squat rack. And you're going to place the bar in front of you and just lean. Let me move this back. I'm sorry. You want to place the bar at a level where you can get your back parallel or your torso parallel to the floor, and you just want to lean. And it's going to be the same, you're leaning on the bar, and it's going to be that same idea of lifting, lowering the heels and getting them a little bit lower than parallel, lifting and lowering. Now, when I train donkey calves, I usually have somebody sitting on not the middle arched part of my back, but right where my pelvis is, right, that hard part right at the top of, right as you get out of that curve in your lower back. I usually have somebody sitting on that I know that I can lift and lower, or I have somebody assist and place a weight on that area. And I find that those, because it works both your soleus and your gastrocnemius, it really sets your calves on fire. Something else that's really, really good that a lot of people don't talk about when you're working your calves, you want to work that opposite muscle, which is your tibialis anterior, the muscle that sits right here. Now, they do have machines that you can actually put your feet in and do a flexing and lowering, a lift and lower. If you can't find something like that, you can always get weights, attach them to your feet, sitting. You want your thighs to be parallel to the floor, so this is not ideally the good position, but you want your thigh to be parallel to the floor, meaning the hip bone needs to be in a straight line aligned with the knee. You want your tibialis bone to be perpendicular to the floor, and all you have to do with the weights attached to your feet, you can get those ankle weights, is just lift and lower, lift and lower. You can do that for time, sitting up nice and tall, patting your feet. That's going to develop that front muscle and give your legs more of an even, balanced look. It's also going to be a good balancer for your lower legs so that you don't end up with things like shin splints. So because it is the opposite muscle group of your calf muscle, and you always want to train the opposing muscle group to the muscle group that you're training so that there's a balance. So those are my tips. If you have any questions or comments, or I didn't cover everything, please leave them in the comment box below. If you have other body parts that you want me to demonstrate and or talk about, please feel free to leave that in the comment box below too. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Check out my website at www.mcbmi.com. And follow me on Instagram at mcbmi, and or I also have a personal Instagram page, which is VWMS7. You can follow me on there, and follow me on TikTok at VWMS7. I'm doing some demonstrations of exercises, just the demos, and then what I do is I come to my YouTube channel and I usually explain the proper form for those exercises. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Look for another great video, and I will see you soon.